turn that down. So stupid that the mute button works the way it does on this Marantz. It's not permanent. You can set it to mute whatever you want. Yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do a lot with it except keep it muted. So you hit the mute button, and 15 seconds later, it comes back on at the same volume it was on when you muted it. And what good is that? It's okay. Got that off my chest. Um, Look, for me, everything now for the last, honestly, the last, I want to say 20, but actually the last 15 years everything has been a moral choice, a moral decision. I base everything on the fruits of what I see. So it's really easy for me to spot the scammers, the people who would take advantage of other people. Mercilessly. They would take the last dime of a little old lady somewhere and leave her fucking penniless to starve to death. You know what I mean? You see, that's a moral choice. Why? Well, the guy needs to live a lifestyle he can't afford. Some guy in fucking Pakistan needs a boat and gold jewelry and all of this to impress people because he's a fucking asshole. See? And I mean, I see it every day on YouTube. I see it everywhere I go in life. Everywhere. Law enforcement, medicine, education. I understand why people are upset and why they just want to see things fucking differently. I understand that. I really do, okay? But everything is a moral choice. If you have two people that you agree with their policies, both of them, you would love to see these policies enacted. One of them is a Republican and one of them is a Democrat, okay? Now, you don't have any issues, do you? And you don't have any problems. But what if one of these guys had stolen from you before? What if one of these guys had hired you to put a roof on their house, and when you got done, he claimed you didn't do a good enough job and then took you to court and sued you until you had to just leave? What if one of those guys, and I'm not saying either one, what if one of those guys raped your sister or your mother, right? Or your daughter? Oh my God. What if one of these guys tried to defraud your state of money that he owed? Which, now, you agree with their policies, but you see, it's a moral choice about which guy to choose, the guy that didn't do any of that or the guy that did. This is how I view everything now. For me, and I tell my doctor, I say it's hard for me to have a conversation around here because people are uneducated, morally bereft of caring for others. You are your brother's keeper. That's all there is to it. People don't like to hear that either. You see, we create the criminals. We create the despots. We create the Putins and the Trumps. We make these people. You know what I mean? We create them out of our social drive, and then we deserve to suffer the punishments that come with it. Everything should be a moral choice. Listen, a politician's going to promise you the world, and you're not going to get shit. They're going to go there. They're going to worry about getting elected for the next 30 years. That's it. They will pander to big business and every bribery agent that goes there. That's it. Simple as that. So it doesn't really matter, does it, who you vote for? They're going to do whatever the hell it is that they want to do. They're not there to enact what you need. They're there to enact what they want. So, all right. I had to get that off my chest. See, it's a moral choice now. When I look, I try to keep in my mind that my senses are limited and that this reality that I'm seeing, these photons coming back at me, okay, and the fact that I live on a sheet of flat time-space, I try to keep that in my mind at all times. That I really don't know shit. That the reality is probably so much more different than it actually is. And the problem is our sensory range is so small, you know what I mean? Yeah, a persistent illusion. And that kind of helps keep me grounded, okay? If you just try to make good moral choices, you're not always going to succeed. We're human. We're all failures, trust me, all of us. And that's because we haven't been out of the trees long enough. We still run on the animal and instinctual side of us, okay, that we cannot control. We can't fight. Our mind, no one knows how to lie to us like us. And this is why it's so hard to quit smoking, you know what I mean? We know how to convince ourselves of things that aren't really true. But when it comes to physics, 1 and 1 equals 2, okay? That is it. When you look at quantum mechanics, is so much stranger than the reality that I'm looking at right now. I have to admit that it's there. I have to admit that the laws and the realities of what quantum mechanics tells me I'm existing in right now, okay, is so bizarre. It's almost hard to hold in your head as a concept. But you can start by just admitting everything's a moral choice, and there's a reason for that. Okay? That's what balances the universe out. The universe wants positive information created for positive reasons by conscious sentient entities, not negative. Okay? Leave good information.